Welcome back, students. In today's lecture, it is the second part of today's lecture. Here we will see what is inertia and what is its relation to mass. So in first law of motion, we have seen that any body is unable to change its state of rest, motion or direction without the application of any external force. So that means we can say that every body is having some kind of property, some inherent property which doesn't allow them to change their state of rest or motion. Okay, so that inherent property is only called inertia. Once again I am telling you, without application of any external force, any object is not able to change its state of motion. Okay? An object can change its state of motion only when we apply force. By themselves they cannot do that. Why they cannot do that? Because in them there is one property which doesn't allow them to change their state by their own. That inherent property always resists any kind of change in them, and that property is called inertia. Okay, then first law of motion is also called law of inertia. Why is it called that? Because in first law we have discussed that a body cannot change its state of motion without any external force. So in first law basically we are talking about inertia. So first law is also called law of inertia. Now on what thing inertia depends? Inertia depends on mass. How? Suppose any body is having less mass, light weighted. So we can move it by applying a little amount of force. Okay, that means the opposition of change in motion is less there. But if any body is having more mass, it is having more weight, so we have to apply more force to change its state of motion. Why we have to apply more force? Because inertia is more there. Opposing force is more there. Okay? So in your daily life, you have experienced this so many times that if we have to move a heavy object, we have to apply more force because in that inertia is more. So inertia basically depends on mass. If mass is more, inertia, or we can say the opposition, is more. If mass is less, inertia is less. Now let's see some examples so this thing will be very clear to you all. Here you can see a very good example is there of inertia and change in state of motion. In figure A, you can see one glass is there. On the glass, one piece of cardboard is placed, and on the cardboard, one coin is there. Okay? And you can see one hand is there which is trying to flick the cardboard, not the coin. Okay? It is applying the force on cardboard. So in second diagram you can see by applying force on cardboard, the cardboard has moved, but the coin was at rest on the cardboard, so it continues in rest position. Cardboard is moved because of force, but the coin is in rest, that's why it fell inside the glass. Okay, so here in this example we have seen that cardboard is moved because of external force, but on coin there was no external force, so it fell down. Okay, it was continuing in rest position and fell down inside the glass. This is one classic example of inertia, which is beating a carpet with a stick. Or you have seen that someone is beating the mattress with a stick. That time also you can see so much dust is coming out. So what phenomena is there? By beating, the dust is coming out or something else? No, student, dust is not coming out. Actually, what happened when we beat the carpet or the mattress? Suppose here in this diagram you can see one carpet is there. So when we beat the carpet starts moving because we have applied force on carpet. So carpet comes in motion. But the dust particles on the carpet, they are at rest. Okay. So carpet moves but the dust continues to remain in their original position. And that's how the carpet and dust are separated from each other. And then because air is present, so that's why the dust will flow with air. And what we feel that the dust is coming out. Here one more example you can see. When you are sitting in a bus and the bus suddenly starts, you feel a little jerk on your upper body backside, okay, not in your lower body. Why is it so? Actually, what happened? Initially, the bus and you all are at the rest position, but when suddenly the bus starts, your lower body is in touch with bus. So that's why it starts moving in forward direction and your upper body is not in touch with the bus. That's why it felt a jerk in the backward direction. So actually you are not going back, but because your lower part is going forward, that's why you are feeling a jerk backward. Similar thing happens when the bus stops. Okay, when the bus is moving, the bus is in motion and your body is also in motion with the bus. But suddenly when the bus stops, your lower body, which is in the contact with bus, that stops, but your upper body continue in motion, and that's why you feel a jerk in forward direction and you bend in forward direction. Okay. Another good example is there, shaking the branches of a tree. When you shake the branch of a tree, the fruits and the leaves and the flowers, they fell down. Why is this happen? Because when you shake the tree, branches of the tree, the branches come in motion, but the fruits, leaves and flowers on them, they continue in the state of rest because you have not applied force directly on them. That's why they are at rest, but branch is in motion. So that's why one thing is in motion, one thing is in at rest. That's why they both separated from each other. And because of gravitational force, the fruits, flowers and leaves, they all come to the ground. They fall in the ground. Now let's discuss one case where there is inertia of direction. So when you are sitting in a car and car is moving in a straight line, you are also moving with that car. But suddenly when the car takes a turn, okay, so you feel a jerk or a force in the opposite direction in which the car has taken turn. Why is this happen? Because initially you and the car, they both are moving in straight line, but when that means you both are having same direction in one particular straight line. But when the car suddenly takes a turn, the car changes its direction, but because in your body inertia is there, inertia of direction, your body is not in change. So that's why when the car moves in a particular direction, you feel that you are being applied a force in the opposite direction, but actually that is not force, that is the inertia. Your body is in inertia of direction. That's why it continues to remain in the initial direction and car suddenly moves in another direction. So you feel some kind of force in opposite direction. This is it for today's topic. We will meet in next lecture. Till then, goodbye, take care and do some productive work.